Radishes are one of my favorite spring crops to grow. Radishes have a strong taste that may take a little getting used to, but fresh radishes from the garden are so much tastier than the radishes you can buy in the grocery store. And radishes grow pretty quickly, ready to pick 3 to 4 weeks after the seeds pop out of the ground. I usually grow 6 to 8 different varieties of radishes every year. Today I'm going to show you only 3 of them because the directions are pretty much the same. The varieties I'm showing you are Donato, Crunchy King, and Bacchus. You should know that I grow the Bacchus variety because they're purple and my granddaughter loves the color purple. The front of the seed packet says that these radishes will take 21 to 24 days to grow to maturity. Now remember, that's 21 to 24 days from when the seeds germinate, not 21 to 24 days after you plant the seeds in the ground. The front of the seed packet also tells us when the seeds were tested and that the germination rate was 93 to 97%, which means we should expect pretty much every seed that we plant to germinate. I bought these seeds for the 2025 growing season, and radishes usually keep for 2 to 3 years, so I'll be able to use them again next year and maybe even the year after that if I have seeds left. The instructions on the back of the seed packet give us a lot more information about how to grow our radishes. At the top, the instructions tell us how many plants can be planted per acre, which is great if you're a commercial gardener, but we don't care about that, right? This section tells us to plant radishes in rows that are either 12 inches or 18 inches apart. I usually plant my radishes about 12 to 14 inches apart. Radishes like friable, which means aerated and crumbly, soil that drains well. So use a pitchfork or shovel to loosen up your soil before planting your seeds. Radishes, like most plants, prefer a slightly acidic soil, which helps them absorb nutrients from the soil better. Radishes can be planted in rows or in bands that are 2 to 3 inches wide, and the seeds should be planted about 3/4 to 1 inch apart. Now I've always planted my radish seeds in rows, and I like to give my radishes a little more room, so I plant my radish seeds about 1.5 inches apart to give them room to grow and get big. If you plant them 3/4 of an inch apart, you'll have to thin them because if they get overcrowded, they'll bump into each other and all your radishes will end up small. Now radishes can be planted anytime starting in the early spring. This tells us that radishes like the cool weather, so they can be planted outside in your gardens as soon as the soil can be worked. Radishes mature pretty quickly, in 3 to 4 weeks, and they should be harvested on time. If you leave them to continue growing in the garden for too long, they might become pithy and they won't taste as good. They warn us about diseases and pests that we might encounter. The biggest issues I've had with radishes is that sometimes ants go after them and eat the roots and the radish on me. But a little sugar and mixed in with borax works wonders to get rid of the ants. Radishes definitely don't like the summer heat, and because they grow so quickly, you can usually squeeze in a couple of staggered plantings in the spring. And don't forget that they can also be grown in the fall. Radishes are a great fill-in crop that can be planted where some of your summer plants are going to end up because the radishes will be harvested and out of the garden and out of the way by the time those summer plants need the space. Now because radishes have a strong smell, they can be used to repel pests. I've actually planted a ring of radishes around a mound of cucumbers to keep the pests away from the cucumbers.